Our next storyteller is a 2013 graduate of ConVal. She's now at Northeastern University in Boston. Let's welcome Megan Jones.
That's good, right? Should I make it higher? I don't want to. I'd been in India 7 months when the incident occurred. We had a routine. My fellow exchange student Marie and I would travel into the city and go to a gym together. I would walk down my driveway and out onto the street, and I would watch, and I would wait for a little vehicle, green on the bottom, yellow roof, and 3 wheels to drive by. In India, this is known as a rickshaw. It's kind of like a cheap alternative to a taxi, because it kind of feels like you're encased in a tin can about to fall over at any point. But anyway, I would hail a rickshaw and we would ride to the gym. One day, me and Marie, we separated to go home to our separate houses, and I walked down the street to catch a rickshaw home. I went to the train station and I asked for a public rickshaw. Now in India, this means the seat in the back, meant for 2 people, is filled with as many people as they can fit. So I sat down and I waited. And soon enough, there was a woman on my right, a man on her right, a man on my left, a woman on the left of the driver, and a man on the right of the driver. Altogether, I think 6 or 7 people, I lost count. So we took off down the street, and it was getting dark, and it was quite difficult to see outside the rickshaw from my spot in the middle. And suddenly I said, "Bus, bus, bus, bus," which means you've gone far enough. And I hopped out. I had definitely missed my stop. No one in the rickshaw spoke English, just Hindi, so I hurriedly explained in haphazard Hindi that I'd missed my stop. And no one had any constructive advice for me, so I decided to call my host mother. No sooner had I taken out my phone and said, "I kind of missed the house," than my phone died. So the driver said to me in Hindi, "Why don't I just drop you off on my way back after I've dropped off all the other passengers?" That seemed like a good enough idea to me because I didn't want to walk back home in the dark. So I got back in and we were on our way. Unfortunately, the last passenger lived in the middle of nowhere, which in a city of 1 million people is kind of impressive. And coming back, after dropping off that guy, we ran out of gas. So we stopped to get gas, and at this point I'm tearing my hair out because my host mother is probably going to kill me. But we made it back, and I identified the house, no problem, and I just directed him to take me up to the front. And my face dropped when I got to the front of the house. The entire Rotary Club, the people who had sponsored my year exchange in India, were all standing on the porch, and my host mother was already yelling at me. It was mortifying. But apparently my host sister didn't think the whole event was memorable enough because she ended up giving me this little magnet of a rickshaw to remind me of the incident. I appreciate that, thanks Hia. But it did more than remind me of the incident, actually. It reminded me of all the people that I had worried and how many people had come to care for me in the 7 months that I was in India. We have sort of a way in our culture of putting a lot of importance on being independent. And if you ask a lot of the exchange students who are going out, say next year, why they're going, they'll say they want to become more self-reliant. They want to gain independence. And while you'll definitely do that, what I learned from Indian culture, if I learned anything, is that independence is impossible without interdependence. And growing up is a lot about learning to communicate. Now my family will tell you the first thing that in practice I'm not perfect at this. So that's why this magnet usually sits at home in my refrigerator in Boston, my apartment, and it sits right next to another magnet that my mom gave me that says, "Go forth, act decent, and call your mother from time to time."